You know, I find it funny that so many of you have already plopped down your hard-earned money to pre-order this all-new edition of Resident Evil 2. And I sit here and I say to myself, like, bro, why? Why would you pre-order this? Why would you even think about giving them your hard-earned money at this point? Because Capcom didn't give me a reason anyway, as an old-school hardcore fan of the older Resident Evil games, to get this thing day one. There's no incentive for a player like me. But if you've never played a Resident Evil game before, or if you just started with Resident Evil 7, well, this is the perfect opportunity for you, as a new Resident Evil fan, to jump in. And that's really the main takeaway here with this all-new edition of Resident Evil 2, is that it's not for the older fans. They didn't cater appease to the older fans. Instead, they went for a new market, which is why this isn't a remake. It's an all-new Resident Evil game inspired by Resident Evil 2. And look, I'm going to get real with you here. I think this game looks like, you know what? Shit on the bottom of my shoe. I've already explained why in many, many videos, so I'm not going to waste much more of your time here today, because I know you're not going to budge regardless, and I couldn't really care less. But I think you should at least consider taking a second look at this game. I'm not saying you should cancel your pre-order. I'm not saying you should not go out and buy this game. I'm just saying, hey, maybe you need to kind of lower your expectations as we head into the launch here of this all-new edition of Resident Evil 2. That way you won't be disappointed. You know, if you go in with low expectations and it doesn't meet your expectations, well, you're not really disappointed because you went in with low standards. You know what I mean? But if you go in thinking that this is going to be this masterpiece and that this is going to top the original game, well, you're going to come away disappointed. I can guarantee you that. This isn't a game for old school Resident Evil fans. It's really not. And I know there's a lot of people out there that, you know, have been there day one. They've been there since 1998 or even before, and they are looking forward to this. I understand that. I get that. But you're in the minority here, because I know deep down there's a lot of people out there like me that are very skeptical of this all-new edition of Resident Evil 2, and they might not be very, very vocal about that. So essentially what I'm doing here is I'm the voice of the voiceless. You know, I'm not afraid to step up to the plate and tell it like it is. Again, let's reiterate. I mean, this is a game for the Fortnite audience, for that younger demographic that has never played a real Resident Evil game before. Period, end of story. And the reason why Capcom went down that road is because that's where the big money is. And after all, this is the video game business. They make video games, folks, believe it or not, to make money. It's not called video game art where they showcase their art for free. Oh no, that's not what's going on here. It's all about the money. And that's very evident with this all-new edition of Resident Evil 2.